Welcome, Karibu, Beyond the News. A little thing I picked up. It's Tuesday, and so it's Man Cave. Today we're talking about a very interesting topic. It is rising. It arose from some court rulings and also some points of convergence. And unlike the debate, all my panelists are here. Karibuni sana.
Asante sana.
Sheila Kwambox.
What's good, Joe?
Roy Karuhizi.
Pole about your choleric.
Asante.
Majimaji rebellion.
Mimi. It was flowing like the rivers of uko mtaa. Chakula ni
So jaribu raise your standard.
Kidogo tu.
Either that or strengthen the stomach. Yani kama pasta hapa.
HCL yangu iko mbaya. But ni sawa sana. So today we want to talk about, of course, money issues, but in a different way. And I'll read the court ruling where we're getting some of this from. But prenup or no prenup, first of all, in a marriage, na ikiisha, who gets what, why, how can we quantify it, and matters like that. The SMS line is 22422. That number again, 22422. And the hashtag to use on Twitter is Power Breakfast. Let us know your thoughts about this money issue kwenye ndoa. First of all, wacha tuanze na
Like you're calling it prenup.
Yeah.
Hey, let's talk about the money because that's the main issue.
Yeah, hakuna
inaitwa alimony, the money you get, ndio. But as they say in West Africa, you're getting early money.
Yes, all the money.
All the money.
Yes, not only money.
And you're getting it early.
Yes.
Which is very unfair.
Okay, only.
When you're giving a woman money too early, that's what I call it. We call it early money because she's getting money early. That's what we're calling it today. It had meaning a while back. Now I think it's beginning to have its meaning washed away.
Yes.
Yeah. It's completely gone, and its value is completely gone.
Speaking about being washed away, ukisikia buzzing sound, people, there is a tattoo going on, so don't worry. Don't worry about that.
Well, I wanted to ask the first question. What is marriage for? What is it for? What is it for?
Yes.
It is not because of children.
It is not because of children.
Not because of money. It is because of companionship. You see? And the Bible says that until death
do you part.
Until death, not until money. Until death.
What about the death of money?
Now, whatever comes in between then does not come from God. You entered into marriage with a long motive, because that is the problem we have today. I'm going to Raburu because the father is rich, he is also rich, he is working, you know, my children will be safe. You see, the reason I'm coming to you is because of my selfishness.
Nishamba.
Yeah.
Nishamba na nunua.
Nakuja kukulima. Guys, nakuja kukulima.
Kulimba, nishamba.
Alafu nakuja na straw nyingi. Na kuweka, kazi yangu ni kukunyonya tu.
Mnyonye.
And divorce is bankruptcy of marriage.
So unaona bado umetumia a financial term ku define divorce.
Yes. But when I say bankruptcy of marriage, I don't talk anything about money. I mean, I have to put in your bag, you have to put in my bag. If my work is only to get out of your bag, then I'll bankrupt you. Then we are going to be divorced, but we shall be still under the same roof.
Can I just say one thing just to support that? Then Sheila can
but she's been listening to us like half hour now.
She's been doing the call timing, female timing. Let me tell you something. We just to add on to that, I totally agree with that, and cement that and underline it and put capital letters. What Pastor says is absolutely true in the line that marriage is no longer about the relationship you have with this person, and that relationship can be for children, because traditionally in African homes it was for children. But the reason we're arguing against this alimony is because marriage is now becoming an investment.
Yes.
She's getting married to you as according to the side of your SME. She says the SME in your wallet is what she's deciding. this is what I'm investing in. So that's what the problem is. And she was going to argue on the bias that I'm saying it like women are the only ones who are dealing with it. But I think there's a bias towards women. I mean towards supporting women in this whole issue of alimony. And I think we're getting into relationships as an investment, not of love, but financially.
Sheila, what do you think?
First, let me just put it out there. I don't think there's anybody who wants to get into a union with someone who, you know, I mean, it's just, even in business, you don't get into a partnership with someone who clearly has no business sense. So me looking at you and saying, okay, he's financially stable, he comes from a good background, my kids are going to be okay, is not me being a leech. It's just securing my future. Number two, when you get to weddings, yeah, I mean, we're going to take it to pastor's side where he says, you know what, in Christianity says this. I mean, when I sit in weddings, usually here, and what is yours is mine, you know. And
yes.
Exactly. Already, that when they're saying what is yours is mine, we're not talking about body parts, we're talking about finance. Body parts included. But we're talking about what is yours, your land, your whatever you make. What are we talking about? That is exactly what it is.
This is both sides.
That is both sides. What is yours is mine. So when it comes to, I feel first we need to put into perspective what alimony is and what prenup is, because these are two different issues. Alimony can only come, okay, well, for me I feel like both situations are a-okay, especially if you came into this union now kasimama kwa hiyo altar and you said what is yours is mine. My friend, sit down.
Be humble.
Be humble. It's completely lost. We're talking about, you see, there's a difference between the regulations or laws or an agreement. Yeah? What we are arguing about is why do you have that agreement first in the first place? Why do you have that agreement? Not what are the laws of the agreement. What is yours and what is mine is yours is mine and mine is mine. Whatever it is and what you want to suck out of my blood is yours. That is the law. That is the law.
So when you're saying agreement, people, what are you saying?
But why are we getting into this agreement? Not because of the laws that are governing the agreement. The reason we're meant to be getting into this agreement called marriage is because of love, not because of the investment.
But why do you feel the need to say that?
The investment is there to save. A law is put there to safeguard an agreement.
So the love is
a law is
enough.
not the agreement. When you start saying what is yours, those are laws to govern. They are agreements.
So when does that law, when you decide to leave each other, for example,
but
and you say
my problem is get me first. I am saying that we're getting into the agreement because of the law these days. Are you getting me? We're getting into marriage not because of the love. We're getting
because of the law.
Because of the law, because I want to gain when it breaks up. I'm already looking forward to, hey, nakapatia huyu jamaa kona sura ya 9 months. 9, 10. I'm looking at the 9, 10 month space.
Alright,
do you know when has no problem breaking up that marriage?
When we get married
and then
we become one. That's what the pastors tell us. And the Bible says that. Hata mimi nawaambiaga hivi. But 1 + 1 is not 2.
Right.
It is 1. So the reason we are going to have differences because my wife is earning more than me and she is not now interested with me again because I have already given birth to 4 children.
I'd rather give them they
are grown up. They have now started supporting their mother because I was not there when the mother was raising them. I was busy looking for money. So they were so close to their mother. So the mother is having a jeshi. She's no more interested with me.
Yeah. You guys talk about this personal problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the main source of our problems in marriage. Not really money. Money, I think money comes number 3 or number 4.
But we're discussing number 3 or number 4.
So
the reason we are discussing number 3 or number 4 is because number 1 is already wrong. The purpose for the marriage
was wrong.
It was wrong.
Okay,
that's why we are looking at my money now.
Just to bring this conversation back to what it is that we're talking about. So this marriage has really gone south, yeah? So, and now the question becomes, should I pay, should the one who's earning, usually, I know Roy is going to kick in here and say, no, the law favors women, but should the one who's earning pay alimony to the one who's now being told to take care of the kids, because now the court is involved. It's not a question, sorry, Tori. So what's actually happening right now?
Inanichoma kwa sababu the reason is running me is, what about if you are the one who is earning? Are you ready to support me as a man?
That's what we're saying.
That's what
the
we're
alimony.
Well, that's where she's going. That's where she's going.
Yeah?
The law actually, the law as it is, of course, with the alimony is there. So if today you split with your wife and she's earning more than you, if you go with your lawyer to court and say, you know what, I want custody of the kids, and to take care of the kids I need money, you know, the law will accommodate that. But as Roy would bring up, he'll say it supports women mostly.
Now, the future.
Just bring it.
You can look into the future.
Just because I know you know. Just to bring it back to perspective, Philip Moy, which is what brought us to this conversation. Yes. He just won a court case where the judge was like, yo, listen, if you're earning money and you're earning money, there's no one who should be paying alimony. And a lot of guys were celebrating that. Yes. And that is a win for the guy. So it is possible for guys to also receive alimony. But now the question you're asking is, should people pay alimony? I think that's the conversation we're having.
Yes,
and still,
that's enough.
And also, still, before we get there, let me just put that into perspective. The case that we're talking about. So there was relief, of course, for Philip Moy, and it is what was called a precedent-setting judgment. Appellate judges Hannah Okwengu, Daniel Musinga, and Gatembu Kairu ruled that it was wrong to punish a man to pay for the maintenance of a woman, and both are still capable of working to earn a living. And this is part of the ruling read, and I quote, no spouse who is capable of getting employed to earn something should be allowed to make the other partner a beast of burden to cater for her maintenance just because their marriage has been dissolved. We find that that's the previous ruling, because the High Court judge had ruled. Now this is the Court of Appeal. We find that the High Court judge did not properly exercise his discretion when awarding the amount. The amount in question is, of course, 90 million, and so that is what the High Court said. And they went on to say the High Court failed to consider his financial capacity, and without any evidence concluded that he could afford the amount on pure speculation.
Okay, this is where we're going with this, right?
So it is 22422, by the way, for your comments, views, and suggestions.
Let's get a very clear argument here.
Right.
We're going with this. I'm not going into male or female, who's getting more. First, we know, let's just accept it. Usually the case is in favor of women.
But this one is in favor of the guy.
Usually, no, I'm saying...
They always have an extra vote.
Usually, women... No, it's only a nusu mkate hivi. Nusu carpet. Nusu carpet.
Nusu mkeka.
Sawa. Usually it favors women. But that is not the argument at this stage. I am saying, in today's marriage, whoever it favors, right, is the fact that this thing needs to fast disappear. And why we celebrated that case. For once, we looked at it from the bias of it is not the job of a man to support women. That's what guys were celebrating. Because for long, the period is the reason the High Court had first ruled against Philip Moy is the fact that traditionally, they were thinking traditionally, you're meant to support this woman. And remember what has been brought up there? Because you can afford it. That is not the reason you should be supporting someone. You should be supporting someone because, one, they don't have the capacity to support themselves. Two, because they invested in their marriage.
Yes.
Old marriages where people have been married for 30, 40 years and women are put together. Our parents were, I mean, guys were married, Paka were remarried 3 times over. Paka walikuwa wanapewa a loyalty point for the marriage, right? Yeah. That's how long these marriages were saying you got loyalty points. But now, when marriages have been seen, guys were having guys walking up the aisle trivially with the thought that I am okay because I've married a guy who sorted. So if we break up in 1 year, why are you already thinking of the mentality of breaking up? But don't say they're not doing that. There are a lot of young people who are walking up with the triviality that at the end of the day, she knows she can get away with X. And today, sorry to say this, Sheila, it's biased towards women. Today, why people are celebrating that is, for once, we're saying, if you can afford to take care of yourself, take care of yourself. It's not about me being able to afford to pay for you.
Right, somebody's also asking us, which is what Sheila was saying we should have done in the first place. Somebody's asking us, what is the meaning, first of all, of alimony? That's the question somebody is asking here. So I'll just try to get the definition here. So this is a husband or wife's court-ordered provision for a spouse after separation or after divorce? And then somebody also says, "Good morning. Finally, I hope I can get this answered. What happens to the children when the wife also passes on, and they had invested equally or even more than the husband, and the kids are over 18, like I think the case that you're talking about, Pastor?" Somebody also says, "I have a maintenance case for 3 kids, but we aren't legally married."
What can you?
Yeah, the kids are, if the kids are yours,
So,
the kids are
if
yours.
the kids are yours, are yours. So remember, 2242 for your views, comments, and suggestions. That is 2242, and also hashtag our breakfast.
There is something that we have done in today's society. We have lost the value of marriage.
Yes.
We are getting married
Right, like
Amen.
in wrong motives.
Amen.
And I was watching something in social media whereby a lady took a bag and she told the husband, "I'm going to my mom's house." And the guy asked him, "How?" And the guy went back in the house and came with a bag. "I'm also going to my mom's house. I have a mom too. You have your mom, go to your mom." And me, I go to my mom. And the lady asked her, "What about the children? They will go to their mom." So they all decided, let's not go then. Yeah? Let's not go. Now here comes the question. If I have 2 kids and my wife have left me and I'm not able to provide, and she is not also able to provide, who is going to suffer more? Is it not our children? Why? Because us two who brought the children did not give our marriage values. Because there is a lot of kuvumiliana in marriage. Without kuvumiliana,
then you don't have a marriage.
then you don't have it. There is nobody is perfect. Everybody is looking for perfection. Yeah, I'm not perfect. Sometimes hata naweza lala na nianze kuota na mke wangu wako hapa. Nianze kusema Jane, let me tell you something, Jane. And my wife aamka aniangalie hivi. Na sina ubaya. Una ubaya. Nikiota ninaota. Na nikute nimefungwa kisu.
He confuses the issue with a confession.
It's mad. But you know what?
Unapeleka kwa daktari anaitwa psychologist ama psychiatrist. Sio hapa
mambo ya Jane.
Can we just bring it back to and there's some questions that were asked there, you know, especially about like then you're in a situation. I feel like it's important to really distinguish between prenup and alimony, because prenup, that is before you get into the marriage, before you walk down the aisle, you said if you are unfaithful or if we break up or whatever, the wife goes with this, whatever came in, you don't go with, well, it depends. If your prenup says you go with what you had, you go with what you had. Then the whole issue of alimony doesn't even come up. Yeah? But alimony comes when after the prenup. because
we're discussing alimony.
I'm bringing it up because I feel like we're discussing other issues, because now Pastor is bringing up the whole issue of this is coming because of lack of morals, but we're already here in the situation where the couples have decided are splitting. Now the question becomes, who should the person who's earning pay the other an alimony? I feel it's important to pay alimony. For example, if I've invested in this marriage, I've left my job, I've decided my work is to raise the kids. For example,
how do you quantify that?
It could be the man, it could be the woman. That's my investment into this marriage, to allow you to go out there and do your business, and I'll take care of the kids. Now, in that situation, you find yourself, you've decided to have another car, something over there. I have decided I can't be in this marriage anymore because I value myself so much. In that instance, because I have no job and this was my investment, you need to pay me. That's what I'm saying.
But
whether you're a man or a woman.
And I wanted to ask also about that, even as you make your point, Roy, because you're shaking your head. No.
I can't believe it.
What how do you quantify, like what Sheila says? How do you put money to time spent raising the kids, etc.? How do you come up with that?
It depends on first how many followers you have on social media these days. If you have 200,000 followers, your value goes up much higher. And no, seriously, on a serious note, yeah, that's why we're having this argument, because that argument has devalued. Because we reach a point where how do we evaluate marriages? And I'm saying today they're being evaluated financially, right? They're being evaluated because there is no investment being put in the main aspect or the purpose of the marriage, which was supposed to be a relationship, or in the traditional sense to raise kids.
But
because that has not happened, I am saying if we have devalued the essence of marriage, then also money, let's also throw it to the dustbin, because that is where we have reached today, right? You are entering, I'm telling you, 65-70% of guys. Let's not kid ourselves. People are raking in because there's a winner and a loser in these marriages.
But this is not a today thing, guys. I don't know why.
It is.
I don't know why. All
Let
of
me
a
tell you why it is.
Hold on.
Let me tell you why it's today.
Well, every single time we're having an argument about marriage, and you know, Pastor and Roy will be like, "Yo, women are doing this, women are doing that." Let me take it back. This is not even a today. Hold on. This is not even a today thing.
Yeah, because men are wise. Men are wise and women are cunning.
Okay, let me show you just how wise men are. Mtu atadedi, yeah, 80 years old. You can go to the funeral. You're like, oh, mzee alikuwa respected. You get to the funeral, you're like, wait a minute. How come all these people look alike? These are his other kids. Not only that, utapata family in a fight because of earnings. You find the guy had sijui a piece of property he never told anyone. You know. So at the end of the day, what we're talking about, Roy, I know you're always like, oh, you know, women only want money. But if we're straightforward with these issues, yeah, this is where we are. This is where we are. Whether you want to say women get into these situations so that they can get money out of it, even if I'm loyal to you, he has a wife who's super loyal to the guy. Because she's standing there at the funeral and then she's finding out this guy has other kids. Not only that, he has other properties. Now you're going to court to deal with these manenos. That's where prenup in India, whatever is yours, half, is what wengine they can go to hell. As simple as that.
But you see, you know, I don't get it. Can go to hell. Asked one question and drifted something else. One, she talked about this is not a today issue, right? It's not a today issue.
It's an issue. It's just generally.
We are saying traditionally, where did this story come? I keep saying that before we go into issues, always understand where these things came from. When rules are made, don't just fight the rule for the sake of fighting the rule. Understand the genesis of where this rule came from, right? The thing is, traditionally, the guy who was working for this. So what was expected is, because women used to really invest in marriages. And I keep saying my argument is not about women versus men, men versus women. Unfortunately, which show are we on? I don't know. Will is just correct me. What show is this?
Man King.
So I think our job, Sheila, is to defend
men.
I think if I came here and started becoming a women rep here, there'll be a bit of an issue. So therefore, I'm saying traditionally, the men were taking care of these ladies. Yeah? And therefore, women would sacrifice a lot in their lives, their ambitions, their careers, to put 30 or 40 years in a marriage, right? So by the time she comes to that graveyard, to that burial site, and there are 4 women there, then it is okay for her to be given. She's invested her life in that. What I am saying today is different. Women are investing in their careers. I'm not abusing them. I'm just saying they're investing in their careers. Saying, even me have a hustle. Remember the other day you were saying, even me I don't have to come home early. Even me I don't have to. Women are investing in their careers. And because of that, then the game is completely biased where I'm saying, you know what? If you can support yourself, I'm not giving you a coin because I have more money. Are you getting me? I'm saying, if I was rich when you found me, you will leave me rich and you go with exactly what you had.
But what
on the basis that the relationship was not important enough for you to keep it. Are you getting me? You found me a billionaire, you're not taking half of my money. If you can support yourself. When it comes to kids, again, I support you fully. That's a different story.
Any interesting comments here?
I support you.
Go ahead.
I support you. I support you.
Roy.
Roy. I don't think I'll ever support. The Bible says, I will bless the work of your hands. Who is having hand? Is it only a man? Even a lady has hands. And God will bless the work of your hands.
Yeah.
So when I get married to you, or you get married to me, whatever, and we give birth to children, don't become one of the child so that I can keep on supporting you. You have to help me bring up the kids because you also have hands. We can understand about the maternity leave, and both of us now goes to maternity leave. But after giving birth and raising the kid, let's go back to our work. And on this note, I want to tell ladies, don't submit your salary to your husband's account just in the name of love, because kinaweza umana.
All right. Let me look at some comments here, and as always, we hope that out of this we can help a few people, because naona watu wanafungua roho sana hapa kwa 22422. Very interesting comment. Kwanza mtu anasema, alimony, you guys are talking about a very strange word to us here at Kawangware. Here, all the money we get, we eat the same day. In the event of divorce, we sell the bed and the stove, everyone goes their way. And then somebody says, hey, kudos for this talk, this can save our homes and build our nation instead of siasa kila siku. This is Sami from Malindi. Paul Okura from HB, and I love the way Pastor puts his point. He's a true one. Then on the other side though, hello Power Breakfast, this pastor is very hostile. He should answer questions. The truth is, some men have ended up with property and of both of us because he is the head rather. Then Timothy from Awa says, Pokeni salamu asubuhi. Salamu Timothy. Salamu sana. Esther says, men should empower women so that they are not disadvantaged. Morning Raburu, I'm liking the show. I want you to also speak on this. What do you think about a family having one bank account? Like Pastor, that's what you were talking about. The wife knows what I earn, and I know what she earns. Then it's all put in a joint account before spending. Then what happens in the event of a split? And then somebody says, I don't understand this alimony thing, because I stayed with my husband for 29 years. He remarried. After all the money we worked for together, he took me to court, took all the money, didn't give me anything, and I had to hustle for my kids alone.
That's a terrible situation.
And then Maggie from Kenya says, I agree with you, but I don't think I can be married by a man without money. Money is everything.
Come on.
Keep talking to us using 22422.
What's the name of the last comment?
Which one? The man
money.
That's Maggie.
Maggie, shout out to you, man. Let me tell you something.
Real.
I've just put it here. And in fact, she's not only being real, she's being super realistic. You know why? There's no lady out there who's thinking, you know what, dear God, hook me up with a guy who's just begging on the streets, who doesn't have a roof over his head. Because those are issues. Those are issues. You want someone who's financially stable. You know, and that is not, according to Roy, he'll look at it and be like, yo, that is an investment.
Why is you not investing in my future statement? This is a prophet. You can go a prophet with a prophet.
Yeah. But the truth is, nobody in their right mind wants to go out there and, unless, you know, love can be a very strong thing, but they say love is blind. Love can blind you and you can end up doing very silly things. But if you're thinking about a solid future, whatever you have, you need someone who also has something. Whether it's bigger than you, but most definitely not less than you. Because you na nini shall be taking care of you. Yeah. Okay. You need someone who's focused.
Willie, just grab all she said within the last 2 minutes, put it on a tape, because I'm going to use this in court. Yeah? Unajua hizi siku mambo ni kurecord video submission. Ni kurecord. Na mtu akiongea ni see you having a conversation with someone just saying Now let me tell you something. In all she said over the last 2 minutes shows you how materialistic the people we're talking about have become. Let me call them the people we're talking about have become. Right? And therefore I'm saying, you're entering the marriage or the relationship thinking money. I have to invest in a guy who's stable, I have to get, that's what your priority thoughts are. Well, the top thought should be, I need a guy who's compassionate, I need a guy who's, that's what it used to be. I'm telling you. That's what the first, but I mean, look at our parents and grandparents. Half of them, if you look at it, they built their wealth together.
Yeah.
Wait, just wait. Half of them built their wealth together. I am telling you, you'll struggle to find relationships. There are very few where people are building wealth into that marriage. Why? Because they're already getting into the marriage as an investment of wealth that already exists. That's what the problem is. And therefore I'm saying, when we divide, and you've decided you no longer want to live in a house with a big swimming pool, you go back to your cattle dip. Right? That's where you'll be swimming. I am sorry, I'm not giving you money because I can afford it. I'll give you money because you fought, lived your life in this house for 20, 30 years and deserve it. Not because I can afford it. Affording it has what has been the issue over the last 20 years.
But what about, this is also the flip argument, because there's a lady called Sian there who says she has a lot to say about it if she was given a chance to be in this panel. Let's take your example, for your point, for example, where you're talking about you've been living for 30 years or whatever, and ndio tulikupata kama wewe ni billionaire. But to flip the switch rather, didn't the lady Kwani wewe ulikuwa tu hapo ya kwa sababu sasa walikuwa washakuwa bilionea, hii time anakulindia watoto, anafanya hizi vitu zingine. That's
the kind of lady who deserves a reward. But when alikuwa anaogelea ni kuswim too. She was just in the swimming pool half the day. No, because one of my problem is that we're talking about, let's look at the separation cases, right? We're talking about marriages separating after 2, 3, 4 years today.
Right.
That's what's happening. Our parents were not separating. But by the time you're seeing a lady leaving someone after 25, 30 years, the conditions that have led her to do that are huge.
I want to differ a bit, and let's not try to stereotype that everybody who is getting married nowadays is
there's no anything. We're just saying that what the case is.
There are people who are serious with marriage. When I got married, I didn't have anything. By the way, even my mattress that I was sleeping on, I was given by my auntie.
I've been told that story.
And when my auntie knew that I got married, she came for her mattress. So tulijalia cotton. I didn't have money, I didn't have car, I didn't have anything. What now I have today, we have worked for together with my wife. It will be very much unfair if today I can tell my wife to walk out and leave everything that we have gotten together with. Okay? If my wife today, God forbid, dies, before I get married to another lady, I have to divide everything that we have earned together with my wife to my kids. Then the one who is coming, she is not putting the eye on what I have.
Yes.
We are going to look for other money.
Totally.
But the first thing, I have divided it to my kids. This is an advice I'm giving people. Because when women die, others who are coming in that marriage, they are not coming for the real marriage. There is an eye, there is another eye on the material things. Because once I give you the certificate in the church, you are qualified to kukata nusu ya zile mali tumetafuta with your first wife. So we have to be careful when we are doing this.
Totally
so
agree.
I just want to pick from where Pastor has said, and which was just my argument from the beginning. I don't even understand how we're even having this conversation about alimony. If you're taking, I don't know about the other Muslim or Hindu, but the marriages I know are Christian marriages. When you walk up to the aisle, you tell your partner, what is mine is yours. What does that mean? Tukiwachana say half and half. Yeah? Those are words that are coming out of your mouth. And that is an oath that you're taking. You understand? So if you're in that situation, you have to see it's a no-brainer. That is just how things should go down. But just coming back to Roy's point, where he's saying, you know what, women nowadays are just getting into, just so that you get me, just so that you get me right. I didn't say that, or I'm not trying to say that when you're getting into marriage, you have to get into marriage with someone who has something. No. That's not what I'm saying.
You said.
No, hold on. I'm not saying not everything is materialistic. You understand? You can look at a guy like Pastor's wife looked at him and saw this is a guy who's working towards something. You don't want to sit with a guy who's just there. Hakuna pali anaenda. Kazi yake tu ni kukunywa. Hebu niambie hiyo compassionate utaambia landlord hebu shike hiyo compassionate. Ama you'll bank some compassion into the bank. And there's nothing like that. Every woman who is serious, especially in marriage, you want to get into a marriage, first things first, you're looking to build a family. So you don't want to build a family with a guy who's never even touched. Ajui hata finances inaenda aje, ama hana idea ya kujenga something. He's just sitting there saying, hey, mi sijui kesho tutakula nini. You're the one always going to hustle. No woman likes any situation like that. Unless personally hiyo ndo umechagua. But if you're looking to, you know, be in a serious relationship, and forget even that point where you've got into alimony or prenup, you want someone who is focused. So that stereotype you guys are always running here about women always want financial things.
No.
Women always think about the future. Kwa sababu vitu zikigongana, unatoka, una complain you're not going to give the woman money, but the woman most 100% is the one who's going to go with the kids. She has to think about the future.
She has to stop misquoting us. First of all, we didn't say women always. Yeah, there's no all anything in any argument, right? If there's all anything, right? Everything is not absolute. That's why we have arguments, because there are certain numbers. We're talking about majority or many or today's. When I say today's marriage, do I mean every every person in today's marriage? No. I'm talking about warning us about where the trend is going. I am not saying all people are going there. I'm saying watch out. This is where the trend is. And we need to watch out. What I'm saying is the trend in marriage is the attitude where you're saying, I'm investing my marriage in a guy who looks like he's going somewhere, who is getting somewhere, who looks like he's focused. I'm saying that has become the priority.
That's everybody's
wait. But I'm saying that was not the case. Let me tell you what the problem is, Sheila. That was not always the case. The order of those priorities is what has changed. When she's evaluating a man today, it's a fact. I know the 60s was totally different. The 50s and 60s.
Swinging 60s.
During the state of emergency, I know Pastor went through completely different situations. right? But I'm saying here, Willis, get this point very clearly, right? The focus, the order of priority is what has changed. When the first time a woman put her eyes on a guy 40, 50 years ago, she looked at his manners, right? She looked at the way he treated her. I'm telling you, our parents were very different. That is why they ended up.
Wait. Parents,
let me tell you something.
You have to have land.
Let me finish.
You have to have land.
No, wait, no.
That's
not what the situation was. Get me right, Pastor, right? That is why a lot of those marriages had people who were ladies marrying very poor men who later on became
land.
They didn't have land. I'm telling you. They'll tell you they were house boys or all sorts of things. Those are the stories we hear, right? When I found your father, he was just this. He had nothing at this. Wait. But for us guys, wait. Well, get my point.
Okay.
For us guys, don't make faces when I'm making a point because it puts me off.
I'm just you might.
You kunyeria me, it's just affecting the Yeah.
Sorry.
Now the problem is that look has changed, Pastor. When she's looking at the guy, she's looking exactly at what Sheila started with. Where is he headed in life? That's the first thing.
But it should be a factor.
It should be a factor.
Okay.
It's definitely a factor. Prioritizing things. But because you have switched the factors and you have started looking from your first lens is where is he going, what he headed, that cologne looks like, it smells like cost 200 bob and not 2 Gs. If that's your first priority, what ends up happening is you start evaluating him as an investment. Now you start losing the human and going towards more of the investment. I am saying the switch has become so much on evaluation of the guy financially that you end up now reaching a situation where the investment of marriage is an investment of your future finances.
Okay, I don't want to lock out some guys there because, like I said, I want to try and help them. I have very few minutes left. Pastor has spoken very well. That is MXTN on Twitter. Malia first wife ni watoto wao. Gmaxins_254 anasema I feel alimony should be considered when the marriage is 20 or so years old. Otherwise, marriage has just become a business. And then Gidsale anasema Courier talks facts. I'm busy looking for money outside there to feed them, lacking enough time to be with them. And then the Ngosi says signing a prenup is entering a business deal, not a marriage. And then finally, of course, 2242, where people open up. That's our new tagline. Hyper breakfast, same thing happened to me with 3 kids. I left without anything. Another woman came in, took everything that I had in the house, and the husband is not supporting the kids anymore. But I want to know is that what I want to know is that women one day, that woman one day will be paid by God for what has happened. I'm married to a stable guy. I work so much in the shamba, and what comes out of it, he claims to be his, yet he does not give me anything. This Daniel Dollar says, the last lady didn't have something to say. She is materialistic driven, and she will never get married. If a man can marry a lady without nothing, then ladies should be also in a position to do so. Ndoa, like Pastor said, ni kuvumiliana. Uyo msichana yuko kwa panel pia akona ka point, but marriage is all about enduring to make what you don't have. Then somebody says, dude, a woman's attraction to a man of means is natural. Look at the animals in the wild. The females will only mate with the alpha. Why then? Why? Because she needs to secure her offspring's future. It's called natural selection. Love is overrated. Somebody says, I'm a housewife and I work tirelessly. Does it mean that I'm doing nothing because I don't have a payslip? And then he says, Madam is right on point. No one wants a broke man. Issues start there. My name is Marcina from Nyanyuki. Both men and women should work, though a man shouldn't forget his responsibilities. And finally, ask the lady what she will do in the event her super rich catch loses the job. That is Bob from Kakamega. Kasioki anasema Roy, I had to go back to your cattle dip. And then somebody asks here, surely, Pastor, now I'm 28 years old and I'm not yet married. Tell me what to do. Is it too early or too late?
Right. Just going back to, I mean, all those points
Yeah,
are
those
are very valid
fantastic.
points.
Can I
Amazing
first?
points.
I don't know where it is I have said I want a super rich guy or women want super rich men. Yeah. Just going back to Roy's point, where he says women's focus now about men with money, and I see most of the tweets are coming from there. You know, it's all about materialistic. That's not what we're saying. The truth, someone has mentioned it there, the natural order of things.
Natural
You don't
selection.
want to go out there and forget even the money aspect, because every time I mention money or financial stability, people think super richness. That's not what I'm saying. If you cannot even be able to provide a roof over our head, you know, fine. If I met you on the streets and like I loved you there, sawa, but at least we're working towards getting out of the streets, not we're still seated in the streets. Also, as Roy is saying 40, 50 years ago, women were property. We were property. In fact, we were not allowed to own property because we were property. So this thing where Roy is like, you know what, women were choosing men because of nini. Men were choosing women because of hips that were childbearing.
Hips, lips, and figure
Hips that were childbearing. And that time, we were focused on trying to, like you go out there, you do the hunting, us we take care of the kids, we raise the home. But now we have a situation where both of us can go out and hunt.
Exactly.
You understand? So note, I'm on the same story with you when it comes to alimony, but I'm not saying that nowadays what all women are focused on, the focus has changed. It's just men are surprised that now not only are you the home earning the bread, but I can also earn the bread. So I have to look. So when I'm looking at your bread, it better be proper bread.
Yeah, but I'm saying, Sheila, that's not a problem. I am not arguing. You see, Sheila's losing the point that we're arguing about alimony, right? Yeah, my point is, if we're going to evaluate alimony, let's look at the reasons you entered. If you entered for the wrong reasons, then that's what alimony should be based on. Our argument here, Sheila, is very simple, right? There is no problem in chasing a guy who has got chums. Are we in agreement?
We're not talking about chums.
No. We're saying entering the marriage, whether the guy has money or is headed somewhere in life, X, Y, Z. There's no problem. Our problem is, once you have decided to leave, do not look at me as something you can earn from, take from, and live with it. That is what my argument is. Are you getting me? Because you have decided that the marriage no longer has value. So leave everything that's involved in that marriage inside that marriage.
I think I'm going to separate women.
Even as you make the final comments.
Yeah, let me separate women. There are those women who knows exactly what they want in marriage.
Yeah.
There are other women who knows exactly what they want to take from the man.
Exactly.
So those two, wherever you are getting married to, whoever you are getting married to, you have to check first, what does she want from me? Is it me or what I have? And sometimes you have nothing, but she can see that you will have. So she will chase what you will have, and at the end of the day, your marriage will go sour.
So it's still about the foundation.
It's still about the foundation. And I tell women, don't think that children are so much belongs to women than men. You want to carry it for us 9 months.
What? Okay.
We had them the years. Komagoti yetu hata saa hii wako. You can disregard somebody who want to carry one. You can only carry one for 9 months. I will produce 23 chromosomes, you 23 chromosomes. So don't show children that men are useless because they are not earning.
But if they're not there in the house, what are we supposed to do?
Oh my God, they are not there in the house because they have gone to look for money.
No, we're talking about the ones who have gone for 3 years. Are they still looking for money?
This one we don't have.
I've never shown
It's because they don't have values.
That's majority. My final points are, you know, because every time when the comments come in, I realize that we're talking to actual people who are out there listening. So I have to say this. One, Pastor released a very important point. If you're a woman who's in a marriage and you're finding yourself, or even in a relationship, your salary is going direct to Sidriware, that doesn't sound like a sin, it's not, I don't think it's advisable to do that, because when things hit the fan, you will be finding yourself in a situation where he has all the money. You have chances that you will be the one with the kids and you have nothing. So you'll find yourself going to beg for your own money back. So I don't think that's advisable. Even when it comes to owning property, even if I buy for you a car, or he has bought for you a car, but it better be in your name. That's all I'm saying. Because when it comes down, not to end relationships or to end marriage, but when it does boil down to that, most of the time it's the women who are chasing for the money, and chances are it's not even she's trying to get your money, she's just trying to get her money back. So I feel like when it comes to alimony, we need to be advisable on that. But if you're getting into a marriage or a relationship, please know why you're getting into it. If it's for money, you're the ones we are discussing. If it's not, good.
Final comments.
As I said, whether you enter it for whatever reason, you get from a marriage what you put in. You're simply going to get what you put in, right? And I think that's the way it should remain. The only reason why we celebrated this court case, we need to go back to why we celebrated. Not whether he deserved the money or not, or deserved the right or not. It's the fact that we're celebrating the fact that it was a stunner and a reminder that sometimes you're not going to get out something that you didn't invest in. So therefore, we're reminding women, or we're reminding guys, whoever is in the, whichever side, Sheila, don't smile. Whichever side, not whether it's women or men, we're reminding them that, guys, if you put in little, expect to get out little. Don't enter marriages with the hope that you reap stuff out of it. Enter marriage for what you can give it.
Right, and I guess on that point, our chat to hapo, enter marriage for what you can give. And at the end of the day, remember, choices, like the old cliche saying goes, choices have consequences. So make sure that you're making the right ones. Of course, we'll be back again next week. I want to thank Roy, Sheila, and Pastor, or Pastor Kulia, I want to thank Mankush for all the comments. And so back over to Joe.